Imagine this. Two people each receive $1,000. 10 years later, one of them is financially free, while the other is still living paycheck to paycheck. The difference wasn't their salary. It wasn't their education. It wasn't even their intelligence. It was what they chose to own. Most people spend their lives chasing income, but wealthy people spend their lives collecting assets. That's because income can disappear overnight, but a well-chosen asset can continue producing value for years. The problem is that when most people hear the word asset, they immediately think of something expensive that only millionaires can afford: a shopping mall, a luxury apartment building, a large stock portfolio. But that's not how wealth begins. Wealth starts with understanding what an asset actually is. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket or grows in value over time. A liability does the opposite. It takes money out of your pocket. The mistake millions of people make
is believing they're buying assets when they're actually buying liabilities disguised as success. Think about someone who buys a brand new luxury car the moment they receive a salary increase. It looks impressive, friends admire it, neighbors notice it, but every month it costs fuel, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and depreciation. Instead of creating money, it quietly consumes money. Now imagine someone else with the same income who decides to invest that extra money into productive assets. From the outside, their life may look less exciting. They drive an ordinary car. They avoid unnecessary upgrades. But every month, their assets continue growing, producing income, and increasing their future options. One person buys status. The other buys freedom.
So what are the assets that ordinary people can realistically build? The first, and perhaps the most accessible, is ownership in businesses through diversified investments such as broad stock market index funds or shares of established companies. Every time you own a small piece of a productive business, you're allowing your money to participate in the growth of that business. While prices move up and down in the short term, productive companies create value over long periods by selling products, serving customers, and earning profits. Instead of working only for your paycheck, you begin owning something that can grow even while you're sleeping. The second asset is knowledge that can generate income. Most people see education as an expense. Wealthy people see valuable skills as assets. Learning copywriting, programming, video editing, design, sales, marketing, or another high-demand skill can increase your earning potential for years. Unlike a car or a phone, valuable knowledge doesn't lose value every year. In many cases, it becomes even more valuable as you gain experience. The greatest investment many successful people ever made wasn't in the stock market. It was in themselves. The third asset is a business, no matter how small it starts. A business is valuable because it has the potential to generate income beyond the hours you personally work. It could be an online store, a software product, a consulting service, a digital course, or a YouTube channel that provides useful educational content. Every customer, every product, and every improvement increases the value of something you own instead of simply increasing the number of hours you work. That's an important shift in thinking. Employees sell time. Owners build systems. At this point, you may notice something interesting. None of these assets require you to become rich before you begin. They require consistency, patience, and the willingness to think beyond today's paycheck. This is exactly where most people stop, and it's exactly where long-term wealth begins. Now let's continue with the final two assets, because this is where wealth begins to accelerate. The fourth asset is income-producing real estate. Notice the phrase income-producing. Buying a house simply because it's expensive doesn't automatically make it an asset. A property becomes an asset when it consistently generates more income than it costs to own. That's why experienced investors focus on cash flow before prestige. They ask one question before buying: will this property pay me? If the answer is yes, it has the potential to become part of a long-term wealth-building system. If the answer is no, it may simply become another monthly expense.
The fifth asset is intellectual property. This is one of the most overlooked wealth creators in the modern economy. A book written once can be sold for years. A mobile app can be downloaded millions of times. A piece of software can serve thousands of customers at the same time. An online course can continue generating income long after it has been recorded.
Even a YouTube channel can become a valuable asset because every high-quality video continues working long after you publish it. The internet has made it possible for ordinary people to build digital assets with very little capital compared to previous generations. Now imagine these 5 assets working together. Your investments continue growing. Your skills increase your income. Your business generates profits. Your real estate produces cash flow. Your digital products continue selling while you sleep. None of these assets alone may seem life-changing at first, but together they create something incredibly powerful. Multiple streams of value supporting one financial future. This is exactly how many financially successful people think. They don't ask, how can I earn more money this month? They ask, what can I own today that will still be creating value 5 or 10 years from now? That single change in mindset separates consumers from builders. Consumers spend today's income. Builders create tomorrow's income. It's also important to understand that wealth is rarely built through one perfect investment. It's built through years of good decisions repeated consistently. Small investments become larger investments. Small businesses become stronger businesses. Small skills become valuable expertise. Time rewards consistency far more than excitement. Many people delay investing because they believe they need thousands of dollars to begin. Others wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect market. But perfection rarely arrives. Starting early, even with small amounts, often matters more than starting big. The habit of owning productive assets is far more valuable than waiting for ideal conditions that may never come. If you remember only one lesson from this video, let it be this. Don't measure your wealth by how much money you earn. Measure it by how many assets are working for you every single day. Income can stop. Assets can continue. That's the difference. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 assets do you believe has the greatest potential to change someone's financial future? And which one are you planning to build first? Share your answer in the comments because your experience might inspire someone else to take the first step. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Wealth Fail because every week we break down the principles of wealth, investing, and financial freedom in simple, practical ways. And if you haven't watched our previous video, The Wealth Formula They Never Teach You, make sure you watch it next. It explains the foundation that makes today's lesson even more powerful. Until then, remember this. Wealthy people don't chase money forever. They build assets that quietly bring money back to them for years to come.